Well, I'll give you some Dominica Reef scenes here if you're really bored. Those are big barrel sponges that you see, those great big ones. They're called giant barrel sponges. Actually, an animal, not plants like they look like. They move. You can't see them move, they're so slow, but anyway, they do. And they're actually animals. They're different shapes. Some of them are really odd shaped, like this one coming up. You wonder what makes them different. I don't know. But they eat the plankton and stuff that floats by them. They're in the Caribbean and they get huge down there. All kinds of different shapes. And there's many other corals, of course. Here's some more barrel sponges. The fish swim in and out of them and try not to get trapped down in them by other fish that want to eat them. There's bush-like looking things. That's my scientific term. I don't know what those are, but they're alive, and those are plants. And there's those insidious divers here and there. The colors in this are not particularly good, again, because I didn't use the right filter. But you see some of the colors. This yellow here, this is probably a pretty shallow area, so the colors come through pretty good. As you get deeper, the reds and yellows go away unless you use a red filter. You can see the reef is both horizontal and there's big wall reefs too that you can swim along, clear down to maybe 100 feet. There's another great big tube sponge. Hard to believe those are animals that literally move slightly, I believe. Another diver off in the distance. Some more color, probably with the filter in. That is a trumpet fish. There's fish that look like that are trumpet fish, some that are needlefish with a real pointed nose, some that are filefish. Just one of the few fish you'll see in this series of filming, because I was just kind of concentrating on the reef. This is a very healthy reef. You see all the unbroken coral and things like that because they take good care of it. They really warn the divers a lot not to touch anything that hurt. Now this thing is like a giant mushroom. I don't know what it is, but it's another kind of coral, probably an animal. I don't know. As you see the divers in these pictures, you see them wearing full wetsuits, some with just short type wetsuits. It's just a matter of preference. The water's 82 degrees every day, so it's certainly not cold down there. These are some of the new divers and one of the dive masters, I think, and then ahead of them there. Caribbean dive masters, they're very good. And here's one of the more steep wall reefs with a number of smaller tube sponges, other things. You can see where the horizontal is on that. The bubbles always go up. Isn't that amazing? Lots of fish in this particular area. I'm just swimming along to survive, let alone use the camera, so some of it's not very good. Now this is a fan. These fans are kind of interesting. They're also an animal, and they are specifically oriented so that they catch the plankton or algae or whatever they eat. They're not just haphazardly grown out of the ground. More tube sponges, yellow tube sponges. Some of them get as long as 3 or 4 feet. This picture, I don't have the filter in, so everything you see is green. It's really not, it's much more colorful than that down there. More tube sponges. This is all with a GoPro camera. Really a neat new technology in cameras, very small. Maybe 1.5 by 2 inches is the total size of the camera. Maybe half an inch or an inch thick. High definition still. I should use it with a light though to bring out the color better. Now these are urchins. Those little devils with spines, if you were to put a hand on those, you would notice it for days. They have a venomous sting to them. Also an animal. They actually have a respiratory system and circulatory system and everything. In Bonaire, there were bright red fire urchins like that. And haven't touched any, but if you were to, what I understand is they're pretty nasty. Another barrel sponge of a different shape, and a couple of the divers, and that's one of our leaders, one of our what do I call them? Well, anyway, there's another tube sponge. A lot of tube sponges. These are either finger coral or antler coral. Some of the antler coral is like moose antlers. Some of it's like deer antlers. Various places. And then a few fish here and there. Don't know which ones. And if you're not bored yet, you will be by the end. This is just some random clips of the reef to show you what's there other than the fish and the critters. Now that's a finger sponge there, or finger coral rather. Little finger corals here and there. Different in different places. There's a big fan. Again, it's an animal. Doesn't look like it, but it's an animal. It has a respiratory system and it has little tubular feet that actually move it along when it wants to be moved. There's a fan and a barrel cactus, or a barrel coral. Sorry about the green. It's not supposed to look like that. I'll do better. Another fan coming up. Some kind of soft coral, plant-like. Another fan. Various other things, and that's it.